Here we are ready to start. All right, so we are ready to start. So I want everybody is okay. Que todo el mundo esté bien. I hope everybody is okay. With this, we have in Viña, we are with a rainy day and with a lot of wind in this moment in some part of Viña. So I hope to stop the rain soon because I think we have just enough water. I don't know if it is enough, but at least it has rained a lot. Okay, so we are going to start now. And I want to tell you something that you see next, this Friday, we were supposed to have the test. Do you remember? According to our program, our schedule, this Friday. But maybe the other teachers told you that we had to move the dates. Le dijeron los profes que tuvimos que mover, ¿no es cierto? Cambiar un poco la fecha de las pruebas. Ya, la prueba viene...
Dijeron que iban a tener una reunión para ver eso lo de la prueba.
Claro, sí, la tuvimos ayer. Entonces, Danilo nos va a ayudar a hacer el mono de nuevo otra vez, ¿ya? Y de todas maneras, para que le aviso la prueba para el día...
¿Y nosotros cuándo sabremos la fecha, Miss?
Yo se la digo al tiro, el 24. La que quedó pendiente queda para el 24 de julio.
Ya.
A ver, espérate. Déjame ver, 24 de julio. Friday, the 24th, porque parece que había un cambio. Que yo había propuesto el 24, pero parece que la Tamara quería que fuera antes. Bueno, el 24 de julio hizo English. Por el momento, el 24 de julio hizo English. Es un día viernes.
Sí, cae día viernes, Miss.
24. De todas maneras, se lo vamos a mandar por escrito por si hubiera algún mini cambio, pero el 24 de julio. Ya le vamos a mandar porque para que después tengamos que ver el tema, babies, de los speaking tests, que es los últimos tests que tenemos que hacer, que es speaking, que eso ya lo vamos a empezar a ver en la semana del también. A ver en qué semana que va a quedar eso. Speaking test. Pero por ahí por el 27, la semana del 27 al 31, y a lo mejor vamos a aprovechar algunos días de la semana del, por ahí el 22, si hubiera algún espacio. Pero eso vamos a avisar porque le vamos a mandar para que ustedes se inscriban en los horarios en que van a dar la prueba. Eso se lo vamos a mandar también. Así que tengan paciencia, por lo menos esta prueba se corre para el viernes, no este viernes, sino que para el viernes 24 de julio. Ahí estaríamos haciendo esta prueba. Entonces, terminando el contenido ahora, ¿qué es lo que vamos a hacer? Una vez que terminemos los contenidos de la unidad, que ya no nos queda nada, en realidad para terminar, poquísimo, vamos a empezar un review, una revisión, especialmente de las unidades que nuestra prueba, la 4, la 5 y la 6. Vamos a hacer un review, ya así como que más o menos fuera parecido a lo que podía ser una prueba de los contenidos más importantes. Y también, después que terminemos ese review, yo voy a hacer otro review más de las unidades previas, o sea, de la 1, 2, 3, para aquellas personas que no hicieron las pruebas que tenían que haber rendido en su momento. Ya, le vamos a mandar el calendario completo, hasta las pending tests, las pruebas pendientes, de los que no han dado las pruebas pendientes, para que vean ahí, se les van, desgraciadamente va a estar medio apretado para esa gente, pero no, tratamos que no sea tanto, pero no se puede más que eso, que lo que se puede nomás. La gente que dio sus pruebas antes, ellos no tienen que dar la prueba del viernes nomás, el próximo 24, y después speaking. Después hay una cosa que se llama self-assessment, que es una autoevaluación, que se la mandamos nosotros y ustedes se autoevalúan, se devuelve y nosotros le ponemos la nota. Y después el video, que lo vamos a empezar a ver ya la próxima semana, porque ya hicimos una rúbrica ayer también, y la nota de eso. Y con eso se saca el promedio, y la gente que no alcance el 4 tendrá que dar prueba especial, que eso es casi el fin del semestre. Las notas deben estar puestas obligatoriamente en el sistema arriba el día 21 de agosto, es decir, antes del 21 nosotros tenemos que estar con toda la gente que está pendiente, sobre todo, lista. Mucho antes. Okay? All right, so now we are going to start. We were checking the progress test. Estábamos en el progress test, que la Tamara me dijo que había empezado, me dio cuenta que yo había empezado, yo le había dicho. Pero bueno, no importa. Yo le dije, thank you very much anyway. So we didn't finish with that, so we're going to finish because this is important about, the revision of the unit, especially unit number 6. It has some things about unit 5 and 6, the progress test, right? So it's very important for us to check it. So we started checking this. We did the exercise number 1 for people who were absent. We did exercise 1 about the progress test, okay? The name is progress test 3, and this is on page 58 and 59, all right? We did number 1, we did exercise 2, and we did exercise 3, I think. And what else? Number 4, I guess. Number 5. I don't remember if number 5 we finished. Did we finish with number 5? Cata, that you were in the class. With number 5 because
Yes.
porque puse un signo de
Hicimos
interrogación.
hasta el 6.
Yeah, so we did number 6.
Me quedó pendiente la página 59 nomás.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to finish with page 59, all right? For all of you, para todos, for all of you, please concentrate on this because we are going to do this part, which is very important, right? Well, in number 7, what are we going to do in number 7? In number 7, we are going to complete, this is a text, right? And in this text, what we're going to see is, you know, a short paragraph about Anthony's travel experience, all right? And what do we have to do? We have to read first, the same that happens when you have a test. Please, you read first the text. And then we are going to put the verse in brackets, the one that you have in parentheses or brackets, which is the same thing, in the past simple and past continuous or past perfect. Oh, pay attention because we have how many tenses? 3. We are reviewing here. 3. Past simple, past continuous, or past perfect simple. Yeah, so remember, for you to remember, when we use the past simple, remember, we usually put the verb, you know, in past when we talk about affirmative statements, right? And when it's negative, in case that we have something in negative, we have to use didn't and the verb in infinitive. And if it is a question, did and the verb in infinitive when it's past. Past continuous, do you remember about past continuous? For example, Macarena Pizarro, do you remember about the past continuous? What is the form when you talk about past continuous? I mean, what do you use in past continuous?
¿Me escucha?
Yes.
El past continuous, the form is the verb to be in past.
Yes.
The verb is with ing.
ing. Okay, very good, Macarena. This is correct. This is the past continuous, right? The verb be in past, of course, it could be was or were, depending on the subject, right? Because if it is singular, I say she was. If it is plural, they, for example, they were, right? If it is I was, always. I was. And then the main verb, as you know, Macarena says, takes the ing form. For example, I was traveling, or while I was traveling to the south, I saw, you know, a terrible crash, you know, along the highway, for example. Okay, this is the past continuous. And when we talk about the past perfect, do you remember the past perfect? What is the form, not the use, the form of the past perfect? What is it? What do you need? I mean, what are the things that you need to complete a sentence with a past perfect? Catalina, do you remember the past perfect?
Utilizamos el did.
No, past perfect, no el past simple. El past simple is el did, yes. But in the past perfect?
El had.
Yeah, had for all the subjects. Had, yes. H-A-D, had. And then the main verb?
ing.
No, the main verb. The main verb goes in past participle. Past participle. For example, I had studied English before, for example. You know, this is, you know, the past perfect. Had for all the subjects. This is something easier, más fácil, easier, because you use had for singular or plural, and then the main verb that goes in past participle, right? Katita, had, and then past perfect. Okay, now we're going to put this, so we have to concentrate, because here, how you know, for example, that what you're going to put? Well, according to the context. That's the only thing. The context tells us what we are going to use. And also, sometimes it helps us some adverbs of time, for example, right? Like, for instance, when I use, let's say, while, for example, while is usually used when we talk about past continuous. For example, when I say, while I was, it's an action in progress in the past. When I say, while I was, for example, while I was cooking, my sister called me. While I was listening to the news, you know, somebody knocked at the door. I said, while I was listening, while I was cooking. That's past continuous. That's, you know, it's very easy to identify it. And the rest of them, when it's past simple, well, the context can tell you. For example, when they say, for example, oh, when yesterday, when you use yesterday, when you use ago, when you use last weekend or last week or whatever, or when I was younger, that when I was younger, well, when I was younger, I did something. That's past simple. And when you use the past perfect, you have to be careful, because in the past perfect, sometimes we have to read very, very carefully, right, to see in what cases we are going to use, you know, past perfect. Remember that past perfect refers to those actions that usually happened, you see, before another in the past. Before another in the past. Okay, let's start thinking about this, what we're going to do with this paragraph. It says, read about Anthony's travel experience. Okay. When I was, yeah, here we have ready, the verb to be is here, when I was, past. When I was in my late teens, my friend and I, yeah, you see here, so what are you going to put it here? When I was in my late teens, my friend and I did something, because it says when I was in my late teens, my friend and I, what do you do here? Yeah, decided. Good, Macarena. So when I was in my late teens, my friend and I decided. Past simple, decided. So you put the verb in the past, we add the D. Se le agrega las demás. Decided. This is past simple because it says, dice arriba, when I was, pasado, pasado, y como hay un end, and you continue with the same tense. I decided to go bikepacking across Europe. Okay. The rate cards that we, a month earlier in our bags, yeah, be careful with this, with the context. It says with the rate cards that we, a month earlier, o sea, eso había sucedido antes, a month earlier, right? In our bags, we goodbye to our parents and we did something to the train station. Okay, so let's start thinking about this. With the rate cards that we want, what are you going to put here? Do you have any idea what to use? Lady Lencora, or maybe Millaray, or Maca, or Aileen, Edson, Catalina, sorry?
Both?
No, it's not both. It's with the rate cards that we.
Okay.
What tense is this? We.
Bye.
Earlier. Sorry, Catalina? Catalina?
Bye.
No. Think about the context. Piense bien en el contexto. Dice, with the rail cards that we
have bought.
Ya, eso sí, Macarena. That we had bought. Pasado perfecto. Dice, with the rail cards that we had bought a month earlier in our bags, we, ya, ¿y ahí qué pasó? Con eso ellas hicieron algo, están en el pasado. We, le dijimos adiós a nuestros papás, we, ¿cuál es el pasado de say? What's the past tense of say?
Said.
Said, claro, se escribe say, se escribe S-A-I-D, se pronuncia said. We said goodbye to our parents, and when you have and, it takes the same time, acarrea al mismo tiempo ese and. And so we continue with the past simple. And past of go?
Went.
Yeah, good. And went to the train station. Yeah. Think about the context, please. Acuérdense el contexto. Si dice, with the rate cards that we had bought a month earlier in our bags, we said goodbye to our parents and went to the train station. Then, coma, while. ¿Se acuerdan que le dije de while? While we, o sea, mientras ellos estaban haciendo algo, while, ¿qué van a usar ahí si dice then? While we, ¿se acuerdan que le dije every
We're
time?
waiting.
Ya, bien. While we were waiting, es un past continuous. While we were waiting, okay? So, while we were waiting for the Paris train to arrive, y al tiro la persona hizo algo. ¿Qué hizo?
Looked.
Yeah, bien. I looked in my backpack to make sure that, para asegurarse de qué, that algo había hecho antes. That I
Have.
Yeah, had. What is the past participle of pack? Falta el verbo. That I had packed. Es un verbo regular. Packed con ed. Packed. That I had packed my passport. Okay. Unfortunately, the bag. Ya, en ese momento, miren, piensen en la situación. Unfortunately, dice, the bag, algo pasó ahí. ¡Chum! ¿Qué pasó? The bag. ¿Qué le pasó? The bag.
Fell.
What happens with the bag? Fell. Good. Fell. Pasado de fall. Fell. Fell from my hands. Se le cayó de sus manos. Fell from my hands onto the train tracks. That wasn't the worst thing though, because my clothes, antes, ¿qué había pasado? My clothes, of my bag. So, my clothes,
Had fallen out.
Yeah, good, Banca. Had fallen out. Bien, eso es un pasado perfecto, ¿se fijaron? Had fallen, participio de fallen. Had fallen out of my bag, and, y en ese minuto estaban como, estaban, así. Were
lying.
Lying, good. We're lying on the tracks. Is it lying? Do you write it? I'm going to spell it. It's Lying. They were lying on the tracks for everyone to see. That included my underwear. Okay? So this is here in this paragraph, which is not very easy because here we have used 3 tenses together. But we have to think about, I'm going to repeat again, the context of the paragraph, because that is going to give you the idea of what to use, except if you have some keywords, palabras claves, keywords like while. When I have while, I'm going to use always past continuous. While I was studying, my sister called me, yeah? Okay, and the past perfect is usually happens before another action in the past, like here in the case of when he says, for example, the rail cards that we had bought a month earlier. O sea, un mes antes ya la habían comprado. O sea, a month earlier I had bought, these things. So this is the idea of the past perfect. Okay, anyway, then we are going to start reviewing this again, lo vamos a revisar again and again, so as you can have a clear idea about how to use the past perfect. Okay, so I'm going to take point number 8 of this progress test, and that says, look at the pairs of sentences about unusual schools, and complete the second sentence so it means the same as the first. Use no more than 3 words. Yeah, remember, what are we going to talk about here? The context is about, you see, unusual schools. Edison, do you have any idea about, for example, unusual schools? What do you mean by that? Can you give me an example? of what an unusual school is? Edison, are you there? Or you just, okay.
I think that it could be things that you don't do it in the school.
Yeah, but when you have unusual schools, yeah, what are some characteristics of unusual schools for you? Unusual schools. What are some of the characteristics, for example, of these kind of schools? When you say unusual, that means that they are not common. They are unusual. Not usual, unusual. Mm-hmm. Any idea of that? Do you know a school that people say this is an unusual school?
Maybe the classes in that school is not in the classroom.
Yeah, okay, good. So unusual, yeah, good, Macarena. What other things?
In other ubications.
Yeah, good, okay. That's it. You see, Edison, unusual schools are those schools that have, for example, different, system, in order to learn, to teach the students, right? They have a completely different system. And also, for example, they try to teach, for example, their students sometimes, in different places. They go out, for example, if they are going to teach about, for example, biology. So they take the students, to the countryside, for example. You see insects there in, at the right place. And or if they are studying, for example, about how to draw something, about drawing, they can take the students to another place, for example, to the beach. So the students can admire the beach, and then they can draw what they can see. Or if they are interested, for example, in music, they can take the students, for example, to a concert one day to see what a concert is, the instruments they listen to. That's unusual school. They need money because they have to take the children to different places all the time. But it's very interesting, right? Okay, some schools in Chile, we have some schools that are unusual, that they can take the students, to these places in order that they can know, for example, if they are talking about the ocean, the sea, and imagine that this school is in the countryside, far away from the city. So what do? And the students have never seen, the ocean or the sea. So they take the students one day, for example, they prepare this and they say, well, next week we are going to take all the students, to Valparaiso because they need to know the sea, the ocean. They have to live that experience. This is the ocean. Here you have it, right? So this is the idea of unusual schools. Sometimes unusual in another point of view. For example, about the uniforms. It's unusual because the students don't wear uniforms. They are allowed not to wear uniforms. They can go with jeans, for example, right? But not wearing uniforms. This is unusual because most of the schools in Chile, you see students wear uniforms, right? Okay, this is what we call unusual, right? Sometimes students the schools are in different places. You can have this school it could be a mountain school. It could be a school, for example, about niños cantores. Have you heard that? ¿Han escuchado eso? Niños cantores in Viña? This is a very special school too, in Viña del Mar, right? Okay, let's start now with number 8, because we're going to start talking about unusual schools. And the idea here is that we're going to read the first sentence and then we're going to complete the second. But what is the most important thing here? When we complete it, we have to keep the same meaning of the first sentence. For example, pay attention to number 1. It says, students at mountain schools spend more time skiing than studying traditional subjects. You see, this is a special school, for example. You see, Edison, in this case, for example, students at this school, this is a mountain school, they spend more time skiing than studying traditional subjects. You see? Okay, so what I'm going to say, I'm going to use the same sentence here, the second one. I'm going to rewrite it, but using 3 words, and I can mean the same thing. For example, I'm going to do number 1 and you do the rest. At mountain schools, students don't spend as much time as much time, 3 words, as much and time. As much time studying traditional subjects as they do, you know, skiing. That's the idea, okay? So I did the first one just to show you what you have to do. I did the same, so then I keep the same meaning because here in the first sentence it says they spend more time. So I put it, don't spend as much time, you see, studying traditional subjects as they do skiing. Yeah, because they don't give a lot of time to traditional subjects, because they give more time to what? To skiing, right? Okay, number 2, it says here, in forest schools, the children have such a lot of fun learning outside. Yeah, the same thing. In forest schools, the children have so much, se me salió solito, sorry. So much, put it here. Okay, so the students have so, you know, learning outside. Okay, the same thing. I did the same thing, you see. So what is correct here? Macarena, what I have to put here, I can put 2 words, 1 word, or 3 words, depending on the context. In forest schools, the children have
so much fun.
Yeah, so much fun. Good. So much fun learning outside. Correct. In number 3, it says, last year, students studied at Space Camp Summer School and created a robot. Last year, students studied at Space Camp Summer School and created a robot. Yeah, the same thing, right? So I'm going to start with, while students at Space Camp Summer School, they created a robot. Yeah, so the same thing. Can you do it? Can you try, Catalina Rifo, or Aileen Millaray, Edison, Isidora? Can you try with this sentence? While students
were studying?
Yes, good. Very good, Catalina. While students were studying, perfect. Very good, perfect. Were studying at Space Camp Summer School, they created a robot. Yes, that's correct. Good. 4, it is obvious that people go to spy school to learn to be spies. Believe it or not, but there are schools like this, right? This is a famous school made in the US, Spy School. Es un colegio creado para, los preparan para ser espías. So this is, you know, very, very rare, very strange, but this exists. So it says, it is obvious that people go to spy school to learn to be spies. So people go to spy school to learn to be spies. So, in other words, en otras palabras, lo mismo, but I can use what? People, what? People, maybe I can get from obvious, lo puedo sacar de obvious. People.
Obviously?
Yeah, good, obviously, good. People obviously, un adverb, coloco un adverbio, people obviously go to spy school to learn to be spies. Yes. In number 5, it says, because London's very historical, it's a good place to learn to be a ghost hunter. London, we're going to write the same thing. London is a good place to learn to be a ghost hunter. The same thing. What are you going to use here? London is a good place to learn to be a ghost hunter. ¿Por qué?
Because.
Yeah, because of. Le faltó el of, Catarrifo. Because of. Yeah, la razón es because of its history. Bien, because of its history, correct. Number 6, the students studied at a circus school for a year because they got a job at a circus. Okay, pay attention to this. The students studied where? At a circus school. For how long? For a year. Before they got a job at a circus. Okay, so by the time the students got a job at the circus, they a circus school for a year. Esta es una acción que ha sucedido antes de esta del pasado, antes de que got a job. Antes de que got a job, ellos antes tenían que haber hecho otra cosa. Entonces, ahí hay un pasado perfecto probablemente. By the time the students, yeah, they
had studied.
Yeah, they had studied at circus school for a year. Bien, they had studied. Okay, so let's see in number 9, what do we have here? Yeah, here we have another kind of exercise. This is a different exercise here. And we are going to read a text. This is the text, and you have numbers, and you have spaces, white spaces here. And in these white spaces, we have to look at, you know, I mean, the options that we have. So we have to choose, you know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 alternatives. We have A, B, C, and D. And we have to choose only one alternative is correct. All right. And this is about memory and learning. Memory and learning, okay? So it has to do with something important in English, memory. We need to have good memory, and at the same time we have to learn. Memory and learning. All right, so we are going to read the first part, and then we have to think about which is correct. It could be something about grammar, it could be a verb, it could be a noun in some cases, etc. Okay, let's start thinking about this. It says, think about the last English lesson you had. Think about the last English lesson you had. While you, go to number one, A,
Where,
B, had, C,
Where.
R, D, had. Where, good, Macarena, yes. While, you see, you were studying. You see, you have while here again. While, that is in past continuous. While you were studying. Did you feel hungry or thirsty? Another question, were you warm? So, enough, such, or too?
Enough.
Yes, good, enough. Were you warm enough? Because remember when we use enough, if it is an adjective, you have the adjective first and then enough. If it is warm enough, it is cold enough, it is big enough. This is the order of enough. Big adjective first and then enough, right? If it is difficult, enough. So warm enough, good. 3, let's continue. If so, where you warm, it says where you warm, number 2, enough, all right. Was the sun in your eyes? If so, then you probably found it harder to concentrate than normal. And the learning was possibly in number 3, was possibly effective. Was. Less, yes, less effective, good, less effective, according to the context, right? If we go on, please, we go on with this, and it says here, it's great to, this is in number 4, it's great to every class. To? I listened to Macarena. What did you say, Macarena? Attend, correct. Correct, attend, because you always, this is the verb that collocate with classes. I attend classes. Yo siempre cuando uso el verbo attend no lleva en inglés, por si acaso, la preposición to. Nunca, no existe to con el attend. Aunque yo diga, por ejemplo, yo asisto a una conferencia, en inglés no se usa el attend con el to. Se dice, I attend a conference, not to a conference, I attend a meeting. I attend, for example, classes, etc. That's why here it says I attend, it's great to attend every class. ¿Hay alguien está to? I attend every class. Nunca el attend lleva to. Son cosas importantes que tener presente. You have to keep in mind this. I attend a meeting, I attend a conference, I can attend a reunion, I can attend maybe what it could be maybe a party, etc. Right? While you are there, then you won't learn. Eat and drink before class and carry an extra jumper to, number 5, to put on, to hang up, to try on, to wear out.
Put on.
Yeah, to put on. Okay, good, to put on. That's the context, yes. Eat and drink before class, to carry an extra jumper, to put on if it's cold, so you can focus. Pull the, number 6 says, duvet, blankets, curtains, blinds, down on the window so it's not too bright.
Curtain.
¿Qué dice? Espérate, wait a minute. It's cold, so you can focus. Pull the down on the windows so it's not too bright. Yeah, but here we're talking about
Blinds.
Yeah, blinds. Estamos hablando de un colegio, Catita. Curtains puede ser, pero los colegios generalmente tienen blinds, no cortinas. Las cortinas más bonitas, esas que tienen en las casas ustedes, los departamentos, en sus casas, a esas se le llaman curtains, que son bonitas, que tú las pones así. Esas son curtains. Blinds, generalmente se usan blinds, las cortinas para por ejemplo, para los colegios. Se llaman blinds, right? Son como persianas, algo así parecido. Rollers, que ahora le llaman rollers también las blinds. Okay, so we continue with this. It's a sad fact that we remember little information we hear. Let's see number 7. Wait a minute. We forget about 80% of the information we learn, so we have to work. Yeah. In number 7, what are you going to use? In fact, okay. In fact, this is, in English, it's always like that. In fact, like de hecho. In fact, always. In fact. In fact, we forget about 80% of the information we learn. So we have to work. Yeah, we have to work to remember. What do you have to work? How do you have to work to remember? Do you have to work hard, basically? Hard. Hard, porque no existe el hardly. Excepción, hardly ever. El único que tiene con ly, hardly ever, que significa raramente. Hardly ever. Pero este hard de adverbio, que te dice cómo hacer algo, como en este caso, number 8, to work, we have to work hard. Siempre así, to work hard, right? So, it's letter B, correct. To remember it, revising information is, in number 9, revising information, wait a minute, is an important activity, is important activity for a language learner because memory only becomes strong with practice. A ver, what are you going to put here? Revising information is, ¿qué le suena? A ver. Is. No, so, no.
To.
No, el to no me sirve ahí. Revising information is.
Such.
Ya, eso sí me sirve, such. Such an important activity, es tan importante, such an important activity for a language learner because a memory only becomes strong with practice. Such. Eso sí, such an important activity. Using the language as much as possible will help you make good progress, development, directional work.
Progress.
Progress. Because in English, we always talk about the students are making good progress, not a good work. Most of the time we say your students are making good progress. It means that you're doing every time better and better and better. That is the idea of making good progress in English, right? So this is something like very, very important, okay? All right, so let's see. Yeah. This is the end of the progress test, right? This is the end of the progress test. All right, so now we are going to devote some minutes, algunos minutitos. We're going to change for a while. Vamos a descansar un poco de tanto de grammar. And we are going to start checking some things about unit number 4. Voy a devolver ahora la 4, number 4, right? But in number 4, the idea is, baby, that because we are going to have also the speaking, so I'm going to start reviewing different skills, It could be speaking, grammar, of course, because you're going to have the test, and vocabulary, because you need the test, you have to, we're going to ask about vocabulary, right? But now we are going to give some minutes, to check maybe some things about unit number 4. Okay, so in unit number 4, I'm going to share the screen. Wait a minute. Voy a compartir. I'm going to share. Give me a second. I'm going to look for the book. Active teaching. Number 4. Okay, number 4. In unit number 4, we have things about leaving a record. We were talking about technology, I think. We talked about people that did some, research in some places. We talked about describing people. Do you remember? Describing people, about hair, those kind of things that we did in the unit number 4. And also we talk about some towns and cities like Shanghai. Maybe you can talk about your own city too. Yeah, here we are in unit number 4. Yeah, okay, so this is 4. Let me do it. Okay, 4.
Miss?
Yes. Yes, tell me.
When is the speaking test?
We are going to send information. Tenemos que esperar después del 24, ya de julio, ¿ya? I was telling them that we are going to send you the new calendar. Le vamos a mandar el calendario y les vamos a mandar, se lo va a hacer Danilo, les va a mandar a los 2 cursos una nómina, ¿ya? Como un horario en que ustedes van a tener que inscribirse para dar el speaking, ¿ya? Porque lo tenemos que ir tomando de a uno. ¿Ok?
Ok.
Así que ahí ustedes se van a tener que inscribir, por ejemplo, a ver, no sé, pueden decir, yo quiero hacerlo a las 9 de la mañana, por ejemplo. Hay un horario, en ese horario son aproximadamente 9 minutos, no más que eso, 9 minutos por persona. O máximo 10 minutos por persona. ¿Ok? Entonces, cuando una vez que termine esa parte digamos, del speaking, tienen los 10 minutos, después viene otra persona, 10 minutos más, después viene otra, y viene otra, y viene otra, y viene otra. Entonces son como dos días distintos, o máximo 3 en caso que no quede alguna colita, pero se lo vamos a mandar para que ustedes se ponen ahí, por ejemplo, si quieren poner tal día, tal hora, que está ahí, y ahí se meten. Entonces cuando llegue el momento se les va a llamar por Zoom o por otra vía. Nosotros les vamos a avisar, o sea, no se preocupen por eso. De eso tienen que estar clarito que eso va a ser así, ¿ya? Pero le vamos a avisar porque recién ayer tuvimos un meeting y los profes están todos ocupadísimos en este minuto. Entonces, le pedimos al Danilo que él nos ayudara a hacer el esquema de nuevo del famoso calendar, y él los va a mandar. ¿Ya? Y dije también, Maca, que la prueba no va este viernes, pues se corrió hasta el 24 de julio, porque no nos dejan hacer la prueba ahora porque tenemos que tener 2 semanas de review. Ya, baby, por si acaso, this is the unit that we reviewed. From here is the test. Desde aquí parte la prueba del viernes 24. Desde esta unidad. 4, 4, 5, and 6. This is for all of you. Todo lo que estén escuchando. From unit 4 on. So, I'm going to go back from here. And this is for the grammar and vocabulary you see about this unit. So, we can talk about any part. Puede ser cualquier parte. Any part of the unit that we can consider, here in the unit number 4. And so this is the next part of the unit number 4, and I want to show you some things that are important here. Well, for example, here we have a lot of vocabulary, right? Especially when we started describing people, right? For example, here you see we have, in this case, that she has short hair. We reviewed that long hair, brown hair, blonde hair. You see, these are the things that, can be important in order to know the vocabulary, okay? And also, let me see, because then I want to do the exercise. Wait a minute. Yeah, here we also have vocabulary here, right? When we talk about, for example, these 2 cities, right? Shanghai before and what Shanghai is now. And at the same time, we're reviewing some other things. Okay, like for example, what? You have to know when you talk about, for example, transport, you have to know about, for example, toilets. You know what toilets are? ¿Se acuerdan de lo que eran los toilets? Do you remember about that? Toilets or not? Neighborhood, toilets here. What is neighborhood or toilets? Do you remember about that? Toilets and neighborhood? If you don't remember, you tell me because we have to try to remember them. No? Cata?
Yes, Miss.
Ah,
Dígame.
do you remember? ¿Me escuchan o no? Do you remember?
Sí.
Yeah. Do you remember, for example, some keywords, son palabras claves, keywords that we can include in the test, right? And for example, toilets. Do you remember what toilets are?
Toilet is the bathroom, pero un poquito
Yeah.
más formal.
Okay, so toilets.
Neighborhood, yo recuerdo que era como el lugar donde tú frecuentas, donde vas a comer, por ejemplo, como
Neighborhood?
restaurante.
Yeah,
Creo que era
neighborhood, Catita, remember, neighborhood is the area where you live. Es el área donde tú vives, es el barrio.
yes.
That's the neighborhood. Neighborhood is the area where you live, okay? And
Okay.
you say toilets is correct because toilets, the word toilets refer to the bathrooms, right? Yes, toilets. So we can, this is a more formal word, as you say, more elegant also. Say, well, I'm going to the toilet, right? This is the, I mean, bathrooms, right? And a neighborhood, remember, is the area where we live. That's where neighborhood, I live in a very nice neighborhood, or maybe quiet neighborhood, or noisy neighborhood. So we have to use the adjectives, which is part of the vocabulary. Los adjetivos de vocabulario, right? These words also are vocabulary, right? When we say, for example, the neighborhood is quiet, es tranquilo, is quiet, or is noisy, etc. So we are going to remember this because this part of the unit is excellent. Esta unidad es maravillosa para hablar. This is excellent to start using the vocabulary and at the same time to talk about. For example, here we talked about Shanghai. Nosotros hablamos mucho de Shanghai. Do you remember when we listened to this about Shanghai? And we said that Shanghai, this is Shanghai now. And the other picture, this one in black and white, is Shanghai in the past. And here we have Shanghai, as you see in the picture, is a more modern city than it was in the past, right? And I don't know if you remember, si se acuerdan about, for example, this part of Shanghai. Do you remember? What did we say about Shanghai? ¿Se acuerdan o no de Shanghai? That we said that,
Yes.
Yeah. What do you remember?
Have more pollution.
Yeah, okay, Shanghai has pollution, has a lot of pollution, yes.
More advanced for technology.
Yeah, okay, it's a more advanced city in terms of technology, yes. What else?
¿Cómo se dice different calidad de vida?
The quality of life in Shanghai is better, es mejor o no? Is better than other cities? Or is not?
In my opinion, yes, because you have new opportunity for work and study.
Yeah, good, because that's what we learned. Eso aprendimos de listening, that, you know, in Shanghai, people, you know, especially young people like you, university students, have more opportunities, you know, to work there, right? You have a lot of opportunities to work in Shanghai. So that's why many people, you know, come to this city, to Shanghai, because they are attracted for these opportunities. Yes, you're right. Very good. Good memory. Buena memoria. And what about the climate? Do you remember the climate in Shanghai? ¿Se acuerdan del climate? That they say that this is one of the disadvantages of living in Shanghai. Disadvantages. What do you remember about the climate?
Very, extremely.
Yeah. Yeah. That
mild climate.
Mild climate. Yes, the climate is mild. And in winter, as you know, maybe Kata is
very cold.
Yeah, it's extremely cold, right? I mean, it's very extreme. So the weather is very extreme because it's very hot
the
in summer.
Is very warm.
Yeah, it's hot and warm, and in winter it's very, very cold, almost freezing, right? So this is what we said in this part of the listening, right? About the climate. Yeah. So, and people, you know that here we said that people are concerned about the fresh air because, as Catalina said, that Shanghai is a very polluted, you know, city, very polluted city, right? So there's a lot of pollution here. So people are very worried about this problem, right? Okay.
Lack of fresh air.
Yeah.
Que no tiene eso.
Yes, there is a lack of, you know, lack of fresh air. Yeah, this is some of the disadvantages of living in Tokyo. There is lack of fresh, you know, air, right? This is something important that we learn here about, you know, Tokyo. And then we talk about, well, different things, you know, and this is something that can affect, you know, the environment, of course. And what about the transport? Do you remember about transport in Tokyo? Do they have a good system of transport or a bad system of transport?
Good system.
Good system, yeah. They have a good system of transport. We learned that the method of travel is very good in Tokyo, right? And they have good, for example, subway. The subway is very good. So the subway can take you to different parts of the city because it has different lines, right? So you can go to all parts by the metro or by the subway, right? This is what we talked about in general about the, you see Tokyo, right? In the unit number 4. And then if I go back, si yo me devuelvo un poquito, if I go back here, in this part, what we did, a los que no estuvieron, in this part, what we did is we started, for example, describing these people, right? And we described other people too. We described her, we described, and then we also said who these people were when they were younger, because now these people are old, right? And then we discovered that, you know, she used to have short hair when she was younger. She used to, I'm using used to here, you see, used to, because now this woman has long hair. And do you remember Catalina or Macarena or Edison, who this woman is? Is a very famous singer now. We talked about her. We talked about her. Hablamos de ella. We talked about her. Do you remember who she is?
Jennifer Lopez.
Yes, Jennifer Lopez. You see? So if I show you a picture, si yo les muestro una imagen in a speaking test, for example, and it's this woman, you say, she used to be, or she used to have short hair, because now here she is when she was very young. She used to have short hair. Now she has long hair, you know, and she's Jennifer Lopez, that is a famous singer in the United States, right? And she's still famous, and she has lots of, you know, famous songs. And she's also an actress. She has participated in movies too, right? And then we talked about her, and we described her. Well, you know that she has, you know, a very, let's say, nice smile, and her hair is straight. Tiene el pelo liso acá. Her hair is straight. Maybe she has long hair, and her hair is black. And I can say that, for example, that she's maybe very young. She used to be 15 years old, probably. She used to have long hair when she was younger. Because now, who is she? Do you remember?
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga. Okay, Lady Gaga. Now, what about if you compare her and you say she used to have long black hair? What about now? Is her hair black hair or not?
Not colorful. It's more colorful.
Yeah, so I can say that when,
porque siempre cambia de color de cabello, entonces
yeah, so we can say that when she was younger, she used to have black hair. Now her hair is different because now she can have different colors. Sometimes she has blonde hair, other times she has red hair, you see? So she's always dyeing. Siempre se está teñiendo el pelo. She's always, acuérdense el verbo teñirse. Dye, que es D-Y-E. Para hacerlo gerundio, borro la E. Entonces digo, she's always, ella siempre se está teñiendo el pelo. She's always dyeing her hair. Right? D-Y-Y, después I-N-G. She's always dyeing her hair. Okay, now this person, you know, well, as I can see, this is, do you remember his name? Do you remember who this man is? I mean, it's a boy in the picture, but now he's not
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake. Okay. So as you see, he used to have short hair, and he used to have a nice smile too. A very handsome, you see, maybe he was a teenager here, or maybe less. And what about now? What about now, Justin Timberlake? You can say now, how does he look like today? If you have seen any picture about Justin Timberlake. Does he still have short hair or not? Or that his hair is different?
It's different.
Different? Okay. What is his hairstyle? Longer or not?
No, it's short. Es que aquí en la parte de arriba como que se ve como más abultado y entonces lo tiene como un poquito más corto, entonces no sé cómo decirlo así.
Yeah, okay. Now, so maybe he has shorter hair, pelo más cortito, shorter hair, right, than when he was younger. And he's also a very handsome, you know, I mean, actor. He's an actor, right? He's an actor. I don't know, does he sing? Justin Timberlake? Does he sing?
Yes.
Canta o no? Yeah, so he's also a singer. And then we said that this guy, well, he looks quite different, right? And what he is today.
George Clooney?
Yeah, this is George Clooney. George Clooney. You know, when George Clooney was younger, he used to have, él solía tener, miren el pelo, he used to have, maybe we can say long hair for those times. Para aquellos tiempos es como long hair, right? So he used to have long hair. Now he has short hair, and he's older than you see in this picture. Now he is in his 50s. Está como en los 50 ahora, he's in his 50s, right? So, and he's a very good actor. He's an actor. He's not a singer. And also a director, I think. Those are two things, right? Okay, so with here we can use, you know, with these pictures or any other picture that I can show you, you can start describing it using maybe she used to, solía tener pelo corto porque lo estoy viendo en la foto. Now she's completely different. Y ahora es tan distinta, she's totally different. She has, you know, long hair. Her hair now is blonde. Tenía rubia ahora, her hair is blonde. And also maybe she has operated her face because she looks quite different. And she's very good at singing. Es muy buena para cantar. She's very good at singing, and she's also a good actress. Now you have more vocabulary to talk about people. Ahora tienen más vocabulario para hablar, right? So if I say, for example, if I say to Edison, do you have any favorite, I mean, a singer or band? Do you like music?
Yes, I have.
Yes. Who is your favorite singer or band?
Lana del Rey.
Yeah. Can you tell me about?
Nobody knows her.
Nobody knows her, but
No.
that's better. Mucho mejor, but nobody knows her. Can you describe her?
She's thin.
Yeah.
She had brown long hair.
She has, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also she had a beautiful nose.
She has or she had? ¿Tiene o la tuvo?
Tiene.
She has, yeah. She has a beautiful nose, okay. She has a beautiful nose. Edison, does she sing?
Yes,
Okay.
she sings so beautiful.
Yeah, she sings Very beautiful. Okay, she sings beautiful. I mean, very beautiful. She sings very beautiful. Okay. What else can you say about her? How old is she now? How old is she?
She's in her 40s.
She's in her 40s. Okay. Is
I,
she British or American?
American,
She's American. Okay, she's American. What kind of music does she sing?
like indie pop.
Indie pop. Okay. So it's very beautiful kind of music, right?
Yes, and
Okay.
she is so depressive.
Why?
I don't know.
Maybe because of the lyrics she sings or not?
Her
Yes,
songs are too sad.
yes,
Ah, I see. Yeah, okay. So you think that she's depressive because her lyrics are very sad. Maybe she suffered in her life. She has had lots of problems, and that's why she sings this kind of music, Edison. Has she ever been to Chile? Edison, has she ever been to Chile or not?
Ay, perdón, estaba hablando y me muteé.
Sorry.
Yes, she was here in, I can remember, 2 years ago, I think.
Where was
Yes.
she? Was she in Viña?
No,
What a pity. Where was she? Where was she?
in Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza. Okay, did you go?
No, I'm poor.
You didn't go. What a pity. You should have gone, baby. If you like her, you
Yes.
should have gone. Oh, what a pity, baby. This is opportunity. Maybe you should have gone there. Macarena, do you know
The
her?
life.
Thank you, Edison. Very interesting. I have never heard about her. Yes, Macarena?
Escúchala, terrible buena.
I'm going to try. Yeah, thank you. Maca, do you know her?
I know her, but a little.
A little. Okay, a little. Right. And do you think she's good, as Edison
Yes.
thinks? Yes?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, you agree. Okay. Although her lyrics are very sad, but she's a good singer and she sings very beautiful. I'm going to try to listen to her. I mean, I'm going to look for her maybe in YouTube. Maybe we can find some things about her. Okay, and what's her name? Sorry, her name? What's the name of the singer?
Lana del Rey.
Sorry, ¿cómo? How do you say?
Lana.
Lala
Lana.
del Rey.
Lana del Rey.
I'm going to write her. Lala del Rey.
Lana. Como la lana.
Como la lana. No te creo. Es lana.
Sí.
Lana. Lana del Rey. Okay, I'm going to look for her. Lana del Rey. Look for her.
Woman of King.
Yeah, okay. But that's the name in Spanish, right? Lana del Rey. And why does she have this name? It's a Latin name. Do you know? Do you have any information why her name is Lana del Rey? Like Latin name, not an American name? No? No idea? Maybe, does she have any Spanish or Latin origin?
I don't know.
No? And you, Edison, do you know if she has any Latin origin?
No.
No? Okay.
She hadn't.
And Edison, is she married?
No.
She's single?
Yes.
I see. Okay. So, and does she look young?
Yes, I think.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to try to see, about to see her in order to know about Lana del Rey. This is the first time that I listen about her, Lana del Rey. Okay, thank you. And Kata, have you ever been to a concert? I'm going to practice speaking in this moment. Lana, not Lana, not about Lana. Kata, have you ever been to a concert?
Yes.
Yes, good. Where? Where?
For the festival.
Yeah.
They live in USA, but are Mexicans.
Yeah.
And they sing hardcore.
Yeah. And where did you see them? In Chile, in Santiago, in Viña, in Valparaíso, where?
In Santiago, in Teatro Theater La Cúpula.
Yeah. Okay.
Creo que era La Cúpula o Teatro Nescafé, no me acuerdo muy bien.
Okay. So it was many years ago? When was that? 2 years ago, a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. Okay, 4 years ago. Good. 4 years ago. Did you enjoy the concert?
Yes.
Was it
It
expensive?
was my first concert.
Cata, how much did
It's
you
the
pay?
second because I see Javier Amena in San Antonio.
Javier Amena, okay. I saw Javier Amena in San Antonio, okay.
Yeah.
Is Javier Amena, or does Javier Amena live in the US?
No, she is Chilean.
Yeah, but does she live in the States or not? No? You don't know?
Yo que sepa, no? I don't know.
Was she in the Festival de Viña?
Yes.
Does she play the piano also?
Creo que sí, es que no recuerdo muy bien que no la vi en el Festival de Viña, pero sé que fue.
Yeah. All right. And what kind of music does she sing?
Pop.
Pop. Okay. Right. Yeah, I'm going to find about her because I don't know, maybe I am confusing with another singer, Chilean singer, because now we have many Chilean singers. That there is one that lives in the US. She lives in Miami, I think. But I'm not sure if it is Javier Amena or maybe another Chilean singer.
Paloma Mami.
Yeah, apart from Paloma Mami, because
Ella
I
la que vive
knew.
en Miami.
Yeah, I knew about Paloma Mami. I didn't know about Paloma Mami. I didn't know anything about her, but I learned about her with one of your partners from the university, from the other course, from the other group, O1. You know, Alex is a student from the other group, taught me about Paloma Mami. And he also sent me, you see, videos and things like that. And I saw her. She sings very well, Paloma Mami. Yeah, she lives there because I think that her parents, live there. And I don't know if her mother or her father, that one of them is American and the other one is Chilean, right? Paloma Mami's parents, right? Good. Is there another Chilean singer that is famous apart from Paloma Mami?
I don't know.
You don't know? And you, Edison, have you heard about other Chilean singers that are famous now in this moment?
La Princesa Alba.
Hi, Edison, tell me, I have never
Sorry,
heard
miss.
about her. Princesa Alba, who is that woman? La voy a anotar. Princesa Alba.
She's famous now.
She's famous now. Okay, Princesa
Yes,
Alba.
but in Chile.
And does she sing well or not?
No,
I think
no,
that's
she
so.
sings.
So and
Yes,
so. But she's famous anyway.
Before she used a lot of autotune,
Okay.
but now she sings very well.
Yeah, she's singing much better probably now.
Yes.
Princesa Alba. Yeah, I'm going to find out about her. Who Princesa Alba is. I thought about a princess, but it's not a princess, right? See, that's the name also. Princesa Alba. Okay. Yeah, good. That's what I like about you, I like this. Me encanta. I like when you're telling me because sometimes I don't have time because I work from early in the morning till very late at night. So I don't have time to Google, for example, new singers in Chile like Lana del Rey or Princesa Alba. For me, this is absolutely new now. So thank you very much for sharing this kind of information, because I'm pretty sure that tonight I'm going to Google, these two people, right? Because I want to know, how they sing or what they sing, if they sing in Spanish, in English, etc. Good. Okay. And there are other also famous singers in Chile, right? That I have listened to, but I don't remember the names. There's girl that, what's her name? That I know that she lives, because that's what I heard from her. She lives in Santiago, Cajón del Maipo, I think she lives there, in Cajón del Maipo.
Denise Rosenthal?
Yeah, I think she sings very well. She sings very well, and she has, I mean, good songs. I have heard about good songs. I mean, with good lyrics, buenas letras, good lyrics. And her voice is also, I mean, agreeable to our ears. De agradable a los oídos is agreeable to our ears. I think she sings pretty well. There's another one, another singer that I saw while I was on vacation last year, I guess, and she's also Chilean, but it's not Rosenthal. There's another one that is, I mean, similar in age, but I don't remember her name. They also
Cami?
Sorry?
La Camila Gallardo?
I guess Camila, yeah, Camila Gallardo. I guess that she's the name.
They are
But
similar.
she's younger than
Younger?
Denise.
Young. Okay.
Ah,
But anyway,
sorry.
she sings, but they are young people in general, right? That they are very good singers. Camila also sings very well, I think. She sings very well, Camila Gallardo.
She's so beautiful.
And she's beautiful. Yeah. She's beautiful and she sings very well. That's maybe. Do you like Camila Gallardo, Edison?
No, I don't listen her.
You only like Lana Del Rey, I know. Okay. I'm going to find out about her, right? Okay, Lana Del Rey. All right, good. So this is good because you can use your English with these people, right? Lana Del Rey, is she tall or short? Tall or
The
short?
truth is, I don't know that.
You don't know, but when you have
No.
him in some concerts, for example, in YouTube or those kind of things, no? Well, okay, so then I'm going back to review these kind of things, especially about the vocabulary to use. For example, here, we have a picture here that we can also, maybe describe in speaking, right? Then I'm going to send you some topics. We can start preparing for our speaking, sections, right? About, you see, objects here, that we have some objects. So we can use the language with these pictures, right? Also, the vocabulary here is, let me see. Here we have, well, in this part, we're using the present perfect. So for example, here, what we can do is, we can say, well, talk about the things you have done lately. The things you have done lately. That's present perfect. The things you have done lately. So what do? ¿Qué hace usted? You say, empieza, well, I have done many things lately. For example, I have studied a lot. Todo lo que han hecho, eso presente perfecto, todo lo que han hecho. I have studied a lot. I have done exercises. I have done research. I have, created a video. I have answered lots of exercises in English. I have also, when I have time, I have watched some movies or some, let's say, for example, concerts on TV, etc. Or I have just listened to good music, and I have shared with my friends, for example, you see, using my cell phone, etc. This is the present perfect when I say, talk about the things you have done lately, all right? For example, Macarena, if you have this question, imagine that you say, give me from number 1 to number 10, and you say number 3. And number 3 says, talk about the things you have done lately. What are you going to say, Maca?
Ay, me perdí, perdón.
If you say, for example, if I ask you, si te tocara la pregunta, yo te digo, okay, Macarena, talk about, and I'm speaking, talk about the things you have done lately. Como dice, you have done lately, es presente perfecto. You have done lately. So you start, well, partes. Cuando uno habla siempre usa muletillas. Dice, well, I have done lots of things. I have stayed at home mainly, and I have helped my mother. I have studied a lot this semester. I have reviewed different things in different subjects. and I have practiced my
Okay.
English, etc. This is the idea. Can you start?
Yes.
Okay, do it as a practice. Practice.
Well, I have done a lot of things, like clean the bathrooms of my pets.
Yeah.
And I studied a lot.
I have studied.
I have studied
Yeah, I
a
have
lot
studied a lot. Yeah.
in this semester.
Yes.
In
What
the
else have
quarter,
you?
I have cooking
I have cooked.
a lot.
Cocinado.
I
I have cooked. Cooked, el verbo cocinar, en participio, I have cooked. Acuérdate, cooked.
I have cooked
a lot.
A lot of pastry.
Ah, pastries. Okay, I have cooked a lot of desserts. Desserts, yeah.
Or desserts.
Okay. All right.
Also, I have. ¿Qué podría ser?
I have also attended. He asistido a muchas clases online. I have attended a lot of classes online. Porque eso es lo que he estado haciendo también. I have attended a lot of classes online.
I have attended a lot of classes online.
Yes.
And also I have done my homeworks
I have done
for the university.
Yeah, I have done my homeworks for the university. Okay. I have learned, he aprendido, I have learned a lot of things. He aprendido, I have learned, uno siempre aprende, nunca termina, aunque tenga 100 años, yo creo. I have learned a lot of things. And I have spent a good time. Por lo menos yo lo he pasado bien con los chiquillos. I have spent a good time with my partners, con mis compañeros. When I listen to them, for example, now with Edison that he told us about Lana Del Rey, I spent a good time with
and
him.
Princess Alba.
Yeah, this is good because at least we have to enjoy also. También hay que pasarlo bien, disfrutarlo con la vez. So because it's the first time that I listen to Lana Del Rey, so and also the Princesa Alba, you know. So this is good, nice. I have spent a good time with my partners, etc. Okay. This is the idea, Maca, para que más o menos se empiece a preparar. You have the vocabulary, ya tiene más vocabulario, you can do it, okay? This is the practice. Okay,
Miss,
yes?
in the topics, it could be music.
Yes.
Like artist or...
Yeah, of course,
like
you can say, for example, talk about your favorite singer. Por eso le pregunté al Edison quién era que yo no sabía de Lana del Rey ni de la Princesa Alba. So, if he él puede empezar a prepararse para decirme quién es la bien después, la Princesa Alba de nuevo, cuando yo le vuelva a preguntar, Princesa Alba o la, ¿cómo se llama? Lana del Rey. Él se puede extenderse hablando de Lana del Rey, que yo no tengo idea quién es, pero la voy a investigar hoy día mismo. Today. So I have to ask some questions to Edison, right, about Lana del Rey and Princesa Alba. Okay? This is the idea. Yes, Maca, you can talk about your favorite music or your favorite singer, right? Your favorite group or band. Tu banda.
But I can choose the topic.
You can choose by only saying the number. Solamente lo que uno hace es, uno le da un número, por ejemplo, te dice, choose from number 1 to number 11. Elija del 1 al 11, por ejemplo. Tú eliges del 1 al 11. Yeah. Tú me dices el 5, 5. Entonces yo te leo el 5. Te digo, talk about, por ejemplo, talk about Shanghai. Que lo vimos harto de Shanghai. Talk about Shanghai. Entonces tú empiezas. Well, Shanghai is a very important city. And this is a city that offers good job opportunities to young people, especially university students. And Shanghai is, you know, a nice place to live because it offers lots of services. And it has, you know, a good system of transport. They have a good, for example, subway that takes people to different places. The only thing that we can say is not very good is the weather, because the weather is, we can say that it's very extreme. it's very hot in summer, and in winter it's very cold. People sometimes, suffer from this weather because they feel very cold. And this is the idea. Esa es la idea, Mac.
Okay.
¿Ya? Then we're going to practice. Vamos a practicar más. Tenemos toda la otra semana para practicar, así que ahí vamos a aprovechar. También va a aportarnos la otra profe, ¿ya? No es solo yo, sino que la otra colega también tiene que aportar y ayudarnos para hacer ejercicio, por ejemplo, de speaking, o talk about the things that you like doing in your free time, cosas que te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre. Eso es lo que dimos al comienzo, the first time when we started our classes. All right?
Miss, ¿cuántas pruebas nos quedan aparte del speaking?
¿Cómo? ¿Qué pruebas?
¿Cuántas pruebas nos quedan? Sí,
La nada
aparte del
misma.
speaking.
La nada, pues, Carita. Nos queda, es
¿Sería
grammar,
el speaking?
solo el grammar,
Ya.
que es 24, y el speaking,
Ya.
nada más.
¿Y el speaking cuándo sería el mismo?
Va a ser después, nosotros le vamos a mandar el calendario. Wait,
Okay.
un poquito. Y después de eso,
Miss.
Cata, viene se llama a self-assessment, que también es una nota, pero eso es una
¿Como la
autoevaluación.
personal?
Es una autoevaluación personal, que uno misma se pone la nota, ¿ya? Que eso tiene nota. Y ahí termina. No hay más.
Ok.
¿Ya?
Okay. Miss,
Yes.
¿ustedes ya tienen la nota de los videos?
No, los videos recién lo vamos a tener que empezar a ver la próxima semana porque hicimos una rúbrica nueva ayer para los videos. Así que vamos a...
Rayos.
Miss, ya son las 11.
Sí, baby, thank you very much. Tengo clase ahora con el otro grupo. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. We continue tomorrow we can continue talking. If you have doubts, si tienen dudas, escríbanla para que no se les olvide. You can ask me, all right?
Okay, Miss.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Miss.
Miss.
Bye.